Gil, we're gonna do a reaction now to the Super Mario Bros. Movie teaser.
The movie we've been waiting for since we were children.
Yes.
Right? Ever since we saw that original Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo take, we always thought, why wasn't this a cartoon?
Yeah.
And now it finally is a cartoon.
And what I liked from the get-go was, well, first of all, visually it looked cool, but I like how destructive and like seriously they played Bowser.
It looks cool visually, but for the first few seconds, it doesn't look like Mario exactly. Or at least if you know Mario from back in the day, this doesn't look like the Mushroom Kingdom. This looks more like something you'd see in some of the more recent Mario games.
Yeah.
As soon as you see the fire, though, I do think Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of. And they did a good job just playing him seriously. And this whole time that like all this destructive stuff was happening and all these explosions and he was kind of falling down into this planet. I was turning to you and saying, please don't make a joke. Please don't make a joke. Because I was worried they were going to play him for laughs. Like, look how menacing and huge and serious everything there is.
Yeah. And it's obviously going to be a funny movie because it's geared towards children. But you don't want that to undercut having an actual story we care about.
Right. And I want the villain still to be a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was getting really worried, especially because all the Koopas reminded me of Minions.
Yeah. And that's, of course, Illumination Studio. This is the same studio that did, what's the name of that movie? Despicable Me and all the Minions stuff.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you're worried, but they do look like Koopas.
Yeah. I mean, everything looks like faithful.
Yeah, the little magic guy from Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah. And so, what's his name again? I forget.
Bowser.
No. This guy.
Yeah, it's Magic Guy from Mario Brothers 3. That's his name.
Yeah, he has a funny name. I forget what it is.
As soon as Bowser opened his mouth. I mean, that's the thing. I think everybody going into the trailer, we pretty much all knew what it was going to look like because we've seen 3D Mario. Mm-hmm. We just knew it was going to be 3D but better, right? And when you see the close-up of Bowser, you see all the little bumps on his skin, the texture. It's basically what we've seen in the video games, but much more texture. The lighting is they pay much more attention to the lighting. The thing we were all curious about, maybe a little worried, the voices.
Right.
And I would say this didn't sound like just Jack Black talking. There's a gravel to his voice, and it does sound like it sounds like Bowser.
He sounded menacing.
Yeah.
Which is what I was looking for. I liked the overhead. I don't think of Bowser as like actually having an army or like having a military. But look, you see all the cannons.
Yep.
It just makes me think of like Mario Brothers 3. Like this, my first thought really when I saw this was like Daenerys in Game of Thrones, like in the final season with her dragon and with like all the Dothraki and who were supposed to be dead but were just still there. And so once this came up and we saw the penguins, I was sure they were gonna kind of undercut the series. Well, but first of all, the fur on them and everything looks pretty good. Look, you can even see like little subtle like markings on his foot.
Yeah, that foot's been through a lot.
Yeah.
You can tell.
So yeah, I thought just visually everything was very impressive, and they had like all the little characters have enough variety among them where it didn't just seem copy and pasted.
Mm-hmm. And do we know these penguins?
We've definitely seen penguins before. I mean, there's penguins in like Mario 64.
You ride a penguin, I remember that.
Oh yeah. It's you race down.
Did you race a penguin?
No, you race against a penguin. Yeah. So I liked that I knew a joke was pending, especially once they started throwing all the snowballs. But what I liked was that they never, at no point in the trailer did they make a joke to undercut Bowser.
Right. The situation was funny, but Bowser is a villain. Yeah. He knocks out all the penguins. He doesn't kill them. You don't want him to kill the penguins, but he does burn down their home. And
that was cool. Like, well, wait, I just know. Look, you can see some breath coming out.
Right.
Oops.
I do not.
Can't let it play. So anyway, he like blows up all the penguins and shoots them away, and then it's pretty impressive. Like, I've never thought of him. Look at how much flame that is.
It's funny you're talking about the comparison to Game of Thrones because this also is very Game of Thrones.
Right.
Fire versus ice, the wall.
What if they made like they do like Lego Mario stuff and like all these crossovers? They should do a Mario Game of Thrones kind of universe.
Nobody steal that.
Yeah.
By
That's
the way,
our
look
idea.
at the Aurora Borealis above them.
Yeah. Borealis. So yeah, a lot of them like good looking effects. Okay, here's what I didn't really like so much was when he got the star, he's like, "Who's gonna stop me?"
Yeah.
It sounded a little too silly and like too happy.
Yeah, it's pretty wink wink. I know I'm in a movie. Where's the hero who can
Yeah.
stop me?
Cue. What were you gonna say?
It's something about a plumber, like surely no plumber could stand up
Yeah.
to the likes of me.
I don't know. I wonder if he's even is a plumber in this new like version because they got rid of the Italian accent.
If you go to when he first shows up, it seems like he's fallen out of the sky. It's almost
Yeah, he
like
just like shows up here.
it does feel like maybe he is a plumber and he just got sucked into this alternate reality.
There's a pipe right there.
There's a pipe over there. So does it mean he's being brought into this world and he's looking around like, what's with all these big mushrooms?
Like he came from our world or something.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that, but something like that. Maybe he's from a land that's a little bit more normal and he gets pulled into the mushroom kingdom.
Now these mushrooms are actually they look pretty good. Like actually everything here looks like a quasi like photorealistic.
Yeah, they look like as close to real as you can get while still keeping the aesthetic of the video game mushrooms.
This I don't know if this was intentional, but in like Mario 64, if you just like don't do anything and wait long enough, he'll just like fall asleep and lay on the ground. And it really reminds me of that. Look at the laces on his shoes.
Yeah, and all the
like
wrinkles on his jean overalls.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mario 64, hopefully at some point somebody just starts grabbing his face and pulling on it.
That would be funny. So anyway, he's in pain from falling.
His face looks like weird to me here, and I don't know if it's just because we're seeing expressions on his face we've never seen before, but it looks almost like slightly more real than it does in the games. I'm not sure.
I actually I had the
problem
same
with it, but
reaction, but I don't know if this is right or if I think it was just in my head, but I almost felt like they made him look slightly more like Chris Pratt.
Oh, maybe.
I don't
Also,
know.
doesn't he only have 4 fingers in the game?
That I'm not sure.
No, I'm just kidding. that's Simpsons.
Yeah.
But look at the expression on his
very
face.
expressive.
He seems very like, where am I?
Yeah.
What is this place?
That's how I feel, given that. So we're recording in an echoey office. We weren't planning to record, so we took our sweatshirts and hung them over us like a little fort.
Yeah.
To improve the sound quality.
I'm sure anybody walking by the office sees us and they're like, what are they watching in there?
Yeah, they're probably watching Mario. Disgusting. So yeah,
People were commenting on his rear end.
Yeah, that's true. Apparently, a lot of people. But actually, I think it's pretty tasteful. Like his jeans, his overalls aren't especially tight or anything.
This is basically what we saw in the poster.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, when you saw that poster, did you also immediately get Nintendo Land vibes?
Yeah, it felt like
Nintendo, whatever the name of the theme park.
Yeah. It's part of Universal, but like, yeah, it seems like they've revamped their aesthetic and they're being consistent about it, both in like the real life renditions in the theme park and now in the movie. And I bet it'll spill over further into the games too.
Mm-hmm. Look at that! Every mustache hair is accounted for.
Yeah. You know what? One thing I'm wondering, because there's been dead silence on whether they're even going to make like a Mario Odyssey 2. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it be perfect timing to announce that around the time the movie's coming out?
It would be. I also wonder. I mean, if they did, I wonder if there'll be anything introduced in the movie that gets incorporated into the games. Mm-hmm. Like, I doubt there'll be a movie tie-in where the next game is like Mario, the movie, the game.
Yeah.
but I wonder.
He's played by Charlie Day, right?
No, Luigi is Charlie Day.
Who's Toad?
This is Keegan-Michael Key, I think.
Oh, okay.
Of Key and Peele fame.
Yeah.
Who I saw, by the way, the Toronto International Film Festival.
That's true.
So
he's got 5 fingers too.
So he says, "Don't touch that mushroom. It'll kill you."
Yeah, that's a poison one.
No, it's not, because then he says, "Oh, actually, this one's fine," and that's because the poison ones, as we learned from Mario 2, the real Mario 2 from Japan, they're purple.
Yeah.
Apparently, the blue ones are okay.
This really looks like a photograph.
It does, yeah.
So here he is standing and walking around, and now it's just like he knows he has to go do something. They really revealed very little of the plot because we see Bowser attack this penguin ice kingdom, and then all of a sudden we're over here. Like it feels disconnected.
Like,
so
what does
far.
one have to do with the other?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out. Look at that subtle little rainbow.
Or they're going to take the Better Call Saul approach, where it keeps cutting back and forth. There's like
Yeah.
the Mario Luigi story, and then like the Bowser story, which is like the Gus Fring Mike side of things.
We see Mario open the trunk of his car.
Yeah,
It's like an M16
giant machine gun.
Yeah.
It's a super scope.
That's actually. Oh, if they have a super scope in this,
They
that'd
have
be
to.
amazing.
They have to.
Well, I don't know because the Mario games don't tend to refer to the actual systems.
Yeah,
that
you
they're played
don't
on.
want it to get too meta, I guess.
I would love that though.
So here you had a problem.
Yes. Okay. Mario, his whole thing. Gil, what's Mario's whole thing?
He jumps.
He jumps. What do we see him doing here?
He's kind of
Look,
like
he's like lunging, like he can barely get from one mushroom to the other.
He has no vertical leap.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if they're going to go the route of the Bob Hoskins Mario, where he wasn't naturally good at jumping, but they got these special boots that make you jump high. I wonder if he has
That
to.
would be true to, I think, Mario RPG.
That's right, yeah. So he may have to either gain an item or he learns the ability to jump.
Anyway, that bugged me because I wanted him to jump, then do a higher jump, and then a big flip and go Yahoo!
Yeah, I think we'll get that. It just might not be at the beginning.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like the So at this point, I was like I was excited and I enjoyed the trailer, but I felt a little bit like sold short on the retro aspects of Mario, which is what you and I think hold most dear.
Mm-hmm.
The one part where they kind of they sort of satiated us. They pleased us a little bit.
With the song?
Yeah, where they cuff when he's like, "Who's gonna stop me?" Then you hear the classic dun 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 dun, right?
Yeah, and then it does a sort of melancholy, like dreamy version of I don't even remember which song it is, but one of the classic Mario songs. But it's doing like one note at a time, and it's very much like you've been waiting for this, and it's here, and it's embracing you. I like
his
that.
face. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what'd you think of the Chris Pratt Mario voice?
Look, I get why he's not doing the Italian accent, but I really wish he did.
I do think there's a touch. I mean, he's not doing, "It's a me, Mario."
It's a me, Mario.
But there is a little bit of like, where are we going? Like there's
I'm walking here.
Yeah, there's a touch of that, I think.
Yeah, I guess I need to hear more. But like the instant he like landed and hit the mushroom for that first part, you heard him grunt, and I was like, I turned and looked at you because I predicted that we wouldn't even hear his voice in the teaser, that they would leave it as a reveal, and then your prediction was that we wouldn't hear it until the end.
Like he might say one word.
Yeah.
But I didn't think there was a lot of secrecy because we knew it was Chris Pratt, and I just couldn't imagine he was going to put on a thick accent or do anything that different with his voice. And I think he didn't. There's a light something to his voice. Yeah, I think it's fine.
They've done a great job with the faces, but anyway, I really wish he did the Italian accent, and I'm going to stand firmly by that. But I don't blame them for going a different direction. Now, this part made me happy.
Yeah, because it's a classic
Super Mario World colors. It's the same logo,
but they add depth to it and they make it look new.
Yeah, so that I really loved. I love just seeing the Nintendo logo there. Like looking at the Nintendo logo just makes me feel good. And then they continue. Oh, and then when the names are popping in, they do another. Each time a name pops in, they had another like tone from one of the retro songs, which was nice.
And then we get some of this. Yeah. I liked this. Like number one, I love the spooky vibe. Yeah. I always love any of the Mario haunted house levels. And then, of course, it makes sense to see Luigi here. This definitely gives me Luigi's Mansion vibes. Yeah, it's not ghosts, but I now associate, because of those games, I associate Luigi with the darker, spookier side of Mario.
And I also, I think seeing all the lava and stuff reminds me of some Mario Kart stages, too, which I enjoy. Oh, do you think we're going to see them in carts at any point?
I don't know. I mean, that feels almost as meta to me as having a Super Scope show up. Also, Luigi didn't seem to have much vertical leap either, but I wonder if it's going to play a role. We're in the games, I think as established by Mario 2, Luigi can jump higher. Yeah. That's his thing.
Here's a thought. What if this is like an origin story? Like, maybe this is Mario's first foray into this world. He's like he hasn't become the Mario that we know and love
Yeah,
yet.
that's the impression I got purely from the way he showed up, where he's
Yeah.
falling in, and just based on his expression, it seems like, what is this place? What's with all the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Am I high or
That's
something?
true. He didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Am I on shrooms?
If it turns out that they like don't have abilities yet, that I'm actually kind of excited about that idea.
Yeah, I think that works.
Like a hero origin story.
At the same time, it's a little bit obvious. Like anytime you're going to
Yeah.
adapt a story, it's like, let's do the origin.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, it's not like there's an established origin. That's the thing. The Mario games don't have very little story.
Well, and like Miyamoto has always been not like he loves stories from what I understand, but very very simple bare bones ones.
Yeah.
No pun intended, because the
Ah,
skeletons.
nice.
But yeah, so Luigi's being chased. He shuts the door. Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. I think they said it's not in this version of the trailer.
Yeah,
for
this is
some
the
reason.
UK version, but it's like April 7th, I think.
Yeah, but basically April.
Yeah.
So just a few months away.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Do you think it's going to be good?
Yeah, I'm sure. I predict. Okay, let's get this on record.
Yeah.
I say it's going to have an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to be good?
It's a kids movie,
Yeah.
so I think I'll enjoy it. I think I'll enjoy it to the extent that it tickles my nostalgia button. And
Your nostalgia pickle.
yes, I hope it's not too jokey to the point where I'm just rolling my eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
That's all.
I want it to feel like it actually has stakes.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which like, Into the Spider-Verse. There's an animated movie I loved, but even that movie, it pulled its punches so much. Anytime it would start to get at all dark or dramatic, I feel like it would pull back and undercut itself with a joke. I guess I know they're gonna do that. I just hope it doesn't go so far that it boots me out of the movie.
Yeah, in the end, I bet my feelings about this movie will be similar to how I feel about Into the Spider-Verse, which is, I came away from it thinking it was a great movie,
Yeah.
but I haven't rewatched it ever. You probably watched it a bunch of times from this
Yeah.
channel, but never really rewatched it. But I have fond memories of it, and the main thing I just remember is how it looked.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance that's how I'll feel about this
I guess
one.
we sound a little ridiculous where I'm like, I hope the movie's not too silly. And it's a Mario movie. So I guess what we're saying is we just don't have a preference for pure comedy or children's
Well,
movies.
it's just
really.
how much more of it can we take? Like every Marvel movie is just one
Yeah.
long slapstick joke, and it's like one quip after another. You can have okay. I rewatched the Lord of the Rings trilogy twice in the last month. Those are funny movies, and yet they have a feeling of stakes and seriousness, and yet I loved them as a child, and like everyone I knew as a kid loved those movies.
Yeah.
You can do that with Mario if you really want. It doesn't have to be
So-
quite as epic and whatever, and not as serious. But there are more mature and interesting ways to put humor into a plot.
Okay, so Adam's putting a stake in the ground.
Yeah.
If this doesn't rival the Lord of the Rings trilogy, he'll be disappointed.
That's my standard.
There we go. All right.
All right.
Any other final thoughts, Adam?
Nope. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, with that, everyone.
It's me, Mario.
There you go. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for more. And with that, we'll see you on the next One Take.
No.
Do-do-do-do.
Bum,
Bum,
bum, bum. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Dumb.